Other people are popping on. I was so freaking confused.
Hello, everyone. The session is going to start in about 5 more minutes. Jamie, are you with us?
I'm here.
I'm going to go ahead and give instructions and get everybody rolling.
Sure. So if you're already connected, please go ahead in the chat session. There's a chat option for you. If you will put your first name, last name, and email address, that will be great.
Is recording going as well?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, ma'am.
Rob, you have control, so if you'll go ahead and just mute everyone.
Okay. I'm going to mute.
I don't know if that's good.
Yes?
No, but no one's saying anything at the moment.
Well,
Maybe it's because I have a speaker? Oh.
okay, I believe everyone is muted. Oh, wait. Gene. And Jamie, you and I are the only ones not muted, as far as I can tell.
Okay. So what we'll do, guys, is we're going to go through the training session. Everyone is muted. I will be fielding the chats and questions as we go along. So as Rob is going through the training, if you have a question, feel free to ask in the chat box, and I'll be glad to answer that for you. If there are several questions that we're getting from everyone, we will address those at the end.
Okay, I think we got a couple more minutes still. A few more folks piling in.
And again, if you're just joining, please put your first name, last name, and email address in the chat box.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. We're going to go ahead and mute everyone. If you have a question, please put it in the chat box. If you're just joining, please put your first name, last name, and email address also in the chat box.
Is this not a video conference? It's just phone?
It's video as well as phone.
When I click the start video, it says the host has disabled it. I see the message. Host has disabled it, so I cannot start my video.
Right, you do not need to share your camera. We'll be sharing, it's a video webinar, but you don't necessarily need to share your camera.
Okay, you're talking about your video. I got you.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, so as long as you can see my screen,
Okay.
you're doing good. And
But I don't see you. I cannot see you. I just see some screen moving. People
Right,
moving around.
that's all you need to see. You won't actually see
People moving
people. You're
around?
going to
yeah, right. Yeah, that's all you need to see. I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody. Jamie?
yes.
Excuse me.
All right.
Fine.
Excuse me. Hi. I do have a question.
Oh, wait.
I do not see the chat box.
You should see that in your control panel. If you go to the top, there'll be a drop down, and there you'll see an option for chat, and then
Yeah. There doesn't.
It'll be the
seem to a
far
drop
right
down.
option under more. You'll see under more, you have chat.
Yes, there is not that for me, but that's okay.
Okay, is everybody else ready? We're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna mute everybody, so if you've got a question at this point, just type that in the chat box on the far right, and we're gonna dive right in. So, hello everybody, my name is Rob, I'm with School Desk, and what we're gonna talk about today is the temporary position, the job that we have available for content migration. And so School Desk is a school website hosting company, and we host, of course, school websites all over the country. And we are actually changing our website systems from School Desk and the platform from the old School Desk platform to the new and improved Campus Contact platform. So what we're going to be doing is migrating content from our old sites, our old school websites, to new school websites on this new platform. So that's at the highest level what we're going to be doing. And what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you how that process is done. And if you feel like at any point that this maybe isn't for you, or it's a little too advanced, or not something you even want to do, just let us know. Hit Jamie up in the chat, and no harm, no foul. We appreciate your time. For those of you who do want to continue on, we'll talk toward the end of this 1 hour session. So what we're going to need from you is you will need a fast and reliable internet connection, DSL, whatever high-speed type connection you've got. You'll need a reliable computer, whether it's a PC or a Mac, it doesn't matter. However, you cannot do this on a mobile device or a tablet or phone. It has to be a full PC or Mac. So as long as you've got those two hardware devices, the internet connection and your PC or Mac, and of course, basic knowledge of navigating the internet. If you're familiar with building simple PowerPoint presentations or just navigating the web really well and doing other social media things, whatever it is, if you're comfortable on the web, you're going to be just fine. And then last, what we need is reliable and predictable times of your availability. Meaning if you're going to work on the night, on weekends or at night, or whenever it is that you're going to be working, just let us know what you think your schedule will be from an availability standpoint, so that we can plan ahead and know when you're going to be working and just know what to expect. Whether it's an hour, 4 hours, whatever you've got, just kind of let us know what and when you think you'll be working, and that would be great. So how you're going to work, you're going to be working from home. There is no office to meet at. You're going to be working on your own. We're not going to supervise your daily or hourly or continued activity. We will, of course, review any work that you've done toward the end of the process. So we'll be looking at work completed. What we'll do is we will assign a specific website to each of you individually. Everybody will be working on their own website, and you're going to start at the top of that website, top of the pages, and we'll show you that in a second. And you're just going to work your way down through the list of pages and copying all of the content on each of those pages. Jamie, before I get too far, can you please send me that list for Picayune?
Nope. It should be the last item that I sent you in Skype, if you still have that open.
I apologize, folks. There it is.
Okay, I'll resend
Yep.
it.
I got
No
it.
problem. Sorry.
I got it right here. Okay, no worries. All right, so we're gonna, let's see. There's basically about 500 websites that need to be copied. And so, as I said, everybody's gonna be assigned a website. When you're finished, we'll assign you another one, and we'll just keep on moving until they're all knocked out. There's a lot of work for everybody to be done, to be doing. So we welcome you all very much. So again, you can work your shift, your hours, whatever works for you. Let's dive into it. So school desk websites, we're calling the old websites, the old websites. These are the old school desk websites that you're going to be migrating content from. And then the new system is called Campus Contact. So they're distinctly different, the school desk and the Campus Contact systems. The way you'll log in is you'll be going to admin.campuscontact.com. You don't have to write this down now if you don't want to, because we'll give you this information again later. Everyone will log in at the same location. And I'm going to log in with my login here. When you log into Campus Contacts, you'll be taken to a dashboard. This dashboard will show the sites that you have available access to. Each of you will only have one site, whereas, of course, I've got access to all of the sites. You will see only one website available to you. Then you'll be able to click Edit to go to that website and start managing and copying content to that site. So I'm going to click on Edit on my sample set that we're going to be using for this demonstration called Picayune. This is what you'll do is you'll click the Edit link, and you'll be taken to the website that you'll be working on. Now, the website that you'll be working on has been set up in terms of pages. So we've already created all the pages for you, and we've already brought over all of the documents and the images that you'll need on your website. And I'll show you where all those are in just a moment. However, let's look at the new website system for a moment, and just so you're familiar with it. Across the top, we have a toolbar that you're not going to utilize very often. However, there is a drop-down that allows you to jump to any specific page. So you can hit this drop-down and you can jump from here to any given page in the website. You can also see the website in different views, whether it's tablet or mobile. That's not important for what you'll be doing. And then, of course, you have on the far right, you have a home link that will take you back to your dashboard where you can either log back out of the website or go to your next project. I'm going to continue on down here and log back into Picayune. On the left-hand side of your toolbar, wait for that to load here, are some options, a couple of which you will use, many of which you won't use at all. So we don't want you to make any changes. So starting at the top are design options. You will not be altering or configuring the design in any way at all. So you won't need to touch the design button. It's there, but don't mess with it because you won't need it. The Pages button will be where you'll be able to access the various pages, similar to that option at the very top that lets you navigate to every page. You can also get to them all from the left-hand side. And you can click on any page that has a little drop-down, little arrow, and you can see all of the subpages underneath that. That's one way to get to the pages, as well as, again, from the very top. You have on the left side widgets, and the widgets are all of the little things that you can do on your page, whether it's adding text or images or columns or calendars or whatever it may be, and there are quite a few of them, so don't let that be too daunting for you. There are a lot of different types of content, types of things you can add to your site. You won't be using all of them, but they are all available to be added to your page, depending on what kind of content is on the old site to be copied over. We'll cover that in just a moment. Also on the left-hand side is a content area. This is where all of the images are stored for your website. Again, we've already moved all of those images for you, So over to the new site, so they're there. You will not need to upload any images. You may need to access some images to link to them, but you won't need to upload any images. Same with files. There are going to be a ton of files already added to your website by us. We will have done it on the back end, so you will not need to upload any files. There won't be any downloading or uploading of any files or any images. All that's been done for you. The last 4 buttons you won't need to touch at all. There's a personalized button where we can create little pop-ups. There's a store, a blog, and some other site settings. You won't need to mess with any of those options because that's not what you're going to be focused on. You're going to be focused on migrating content from the old website to the new website. So we're going to jump right into an example of how to do that, utilizing this Picayune school that we're going to copy some content from. This is the old website, and this is the new website. Jamie, slow me down if I'm moving too quickly on between speeds or between screens. So let's talk about website structure for just a moment. Websites are created by rows of content and columns. And so on the new system, if you mouse over any of these white areas, you'll see that each of them is basically just another row. And we can add all kinds of content in these rows. Sometimes content will take the entire row or the full width of the page. Sometimes content will have multiple columns in a row, maybe 2 columns, 3 columns, maybe even 4 columns, depending on the content to be copied. And that's going to be based on what you see in the old site. So going over here to look at the old site, we'll see that we have 2 columns of content. We have this registration and links options. They're 1 column. And on the right side, we have the mission and news and all of this information. These are separate columns, but they're on the same entire row of content. Below that is another row that actually has a calendar, and it takes up the full row, just so you can see what the difference is, a full row versus a row with 2 columns. And we'll talk about how to add columns in just a second. But our goal here is to try to copy the content from the old site to the new site so that it looks as close to the old site did after you're done with it. So let's jump in and do that. We're going to copy these 2 columns of content over to this blank site. So because we know there's 2 columns of content, we have a widget for columns. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll click on widgets, and you'll see there's a widget right here called 2 columns, and simply drag that to the page. If you're going to be working from a page that maybe has 3 columns, we have a widget for 3 columns or 4 columns or however many columns you need. You'll just be able to drag that number of columns over there. If you needed 2 columns, but you added 3, you can always delete 1. If you added 2 and you need a 3rd one, you can add another one. So it's easy to add or delete columns. But in this case, I've added 2 columns, and you can see they're both empty. And we're going to start adding some content to them. The way we do that is we simply right-click on the column that we're going to add content to, and we go down to Add, and we want to add some kind of widget to it. Like we showed on the left, there's widgets for all kinds of things, whether it's text or images or buttons or whatever. But we can also get to that right here from the page by right-clicking on the empty column, go to Add, go to Widget, and in this case, we're going to add a widget called Links, because I can tell that these are links on the old site. I can tell they're links by clicking on them, and I can see they take me to somewhere. Or I can also tell they're links just by mousing over them, and we see that they get underlined, and down at the very bottom of my screen, you'll see a little thing that kind of changes as I mouse over things. So we know those are links. We know these other ones below that are links because it actually says links. But again, we know that they're links because we mouse over them and we see a difference in the text styling, and we can see links down at the bottom. Same with these items on the right. We can see what's a link if you mouse over it versus what's just standard content. So we know what's a link and what's not. In this case, we know we need to add a link widget on our new site. So we're going to go right click on here. We're going to go to add a widget.
Rob,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to interrupt you just for a moment. Give yourself about a 3-second pause as you're flipping back and forth.
Okay.
We are still seeing the school desk site as you go over to
Okay.
contact site. So
I'm going to
slow
slow
down just a little bit.
Gotcha. All right. There is a little bit of a lag on these video systems sometimes, so I will slow it down a little bit. So we're going to add a widget called the links widget, and we're going to add widget below and more widgets, where we will now be able to go down here and look for our links widget. And don't be overwhelmed by the number of widgets here. There are quite a few, but you'll quickly learn where they are. In this case, we need the links. Just click it, and it's added to the page. And we're going to need to add a title to it, and we're going to add some links to it. Our title comes from the old site. This title is, of course, registration 2018, 2019. All you're going to do is highlight it, right-click, and copy it. And then you're going to go over to the new site, and we're going to paste it. And we're going to right-click and paste it in the new site. There's our title. Now we're going to actually add the links themselves under here. So we're going to go back to the old site. And we see 3 links, one called returning students, other one's online registration instructions, and one's new students online registration. So first step is we want to highlight the name of that link. We're going to highlight the returning students online registration. Right click on that and copy it. Go to our new page. Click on the little button that has links. We can add as many links down here below as we need to. I'm going to just click on this blank box and paste that title of the link in there. And you see it now appeared on the left-hand side, as well as appear the link title. Now that particular kind of link is probably going to link out to some other website or a page or whatever, but links can be of many different types. We can have links that link to an existing page in your website. We can have links that link to a third-party website like Google or Yahoo or wherever. We can do pop-up links, which you won't do very often, and anchor links, which you'll hardly ever do. But you will have quite a few links to email addresses and to files. And we're going to do most of these kind of links actually in this demonstration. In this particular case, I'm going to go back to the old site and click on that link and see what it gets me. And this link takes me to another website. So I know that's a link to a URL, and I want to grab that URL by clicking at the top, selecting it all, right-click and copy, go back to the new site, and I'm slowing down here to avoid any lags. This one's going to go to a website URL, and we're simply going to right-click and paste it in there, and that one is done. Oops, there it is, and that one's done. So that is all there is to adding a link. I'm going to do it a few more times just so you can see it. And I'm going to pick up speed a little bit here. And this is all we're going to be doing for the bulk of what you're going to do is copying content. We're going to highlight the link that needs to be copied. In this case, online registration instructions. Right click and copy. Go to the new site. I'm going to add a new link. Click on the link title and paste it. Go back to the old one. Let's see where that link takes us. This link actually takes us to a document. So there are several types of documents, whether it's a Word document, a PDF document, could be Excel, could be, who knows. Most of them will be PDF documents, but like I said, you will see other kinds of documents. Of course, you can tell it's a document when we clicked it and it actually says PDF. This is a document that we're going to link to in the news site. When you're looking at the URL of a document, there are going to be a few of them that are going to be kind of squirrely and not look real obvious. This first one actually is very obvious what the name of the document is because it says right here, if I mouse over it, registration announcement for website nolink.pdf. So that is the name of this document that we're going to be looking for. I can also see that by simply mousing over the top tab there in my browser. And again, it says registration announcement for website nolink.pdf. So we want to find that link in our new website. So going back to our new website, we're going to click on File because we're going to link it to a file, a PDF. We click on File, and that document was called Registration. And you just, if you type better than me, all you have to type in is registration. Start typing it, and you'll see it'll immediately find that document. In this case, here it is, one on the left. If you mouse over it, you'll see the name of the documents that are in there. In this case, there's one registration information for website. That's not what we want. We want the one called registration announcement for website nolink.pdf. Simply click select, and we're done with that one. So now we've got 2 links, and we can see those links forming on the left. So let's pick up the pace here and add another one. We're going to add new students online registration. Again, copy it. Go over to the new site, add new link, paste it. Go back to the old one, see what it is. This again is another URL. We're just going to copy that URL. And back to our new site, we're going to paste that URL. And we are done with this particular module or widget. Now it looks a little bit different. It has a different style to it. And we have the ability to change the styling. Let's see, in this case, I think we can turn off. Jamie, do you know what changed here? Because we weren't seeing that earlier, the more option.
I do not.
I bet, you know what, actually, I think, yeah, I see what's going on. This module is actually currently under construction. He's actually editing the live one as we speak. So this more option will not appear there, so don't worry about that. I see exactly what's going on right now. One of our developers is currently working on this module. It's not going to affect you or your ability to edit content. Disregard the fact that it says more right now. In a few moments, that won't be the case. However, let's keep moving, and we're going to add some more content. So next is going to be on the right side. We've got our mission and this mission statement. This is just plain old text, and so there's no links to it. There's nothing special to it. There's no photos or anything fancy. It's just plain text. So all we have to do is grab it, mouse over it all and highlight it, right-click on it and copy it. Let's go back over to our news site. Now there's no widget there. Again, it's just an empty column. All we have to do is right-click on it, go to Add, Widget below. This is just going to be text because it's just plain, simple text. If there is a photo, we could do an image. There's a button, we could do a button or an icon, or we could select more. In this case, we're just going to add text and highlight that and paste it. Now that's the quick and dirty version of it, and the text doesn't quite look like the original in terms of the styling. So we want to try to make it look as much as like the old site did. So let's bold and maroon our text there at the top. Just click on it, highlight the text that needs to be changed. Change it to the right color. We'll make it bold, and it's looking more like what it did. We'll hit enter to give it a little bit of space, just like the other one. And you'll see that when you add columns to a page, it's going to make those columns spaced out evenly. In this case, they're both about the same size. If we go back to the old site, you'll see the left side was real skinny and the right side was wider, allowing them to stack these links on the left and make the content on the right wider. So we need to do that on our old site, on our new site as well. To do that, we simply move your mouse to the middle between these two columns, and you'll see there will be a dark blue line that appears. We can simply drag that line to the left and make the right one wider. If you wanted to go the other way, of course, you could just squish it down the other way. So everything in the system is just a matter of drag and drop arrangement stuff. If you created content that's on the wrong side, all you have to do is grab it and drag it to the other side. So everything's very easy to be adjusted, and you know, it's very, very easy to work with. So we're going to put it back where it was. Again, it's all just a matter of drag and drop, rearranging content however it needs to be sized. But that's all there is to adding a simple text item. Let's go get another one that's a little bit more complex, and it's this news area below that. Again, this is a mixture of just plain text like the one above and some links like the ones we did on the left. All we have to do is copy all of that content. Let's copy every bit of it. And we're just going to paste it over to the new site as text. So we've got these two columns. Each of these columns have widgets in them already. We can add more widgets below them. In fact, in this case, we want to add more text below it. So all I have to do is put my mouse over the one on the top, right click, just like we did earlier. We'll add a widget below. We're going to add more text and simply paste that text into the box. And here's all my new text that we just copied over. We know the top was bold, it was maroon, and actually there was a little space between the two, so we're going to hit enter there. And then we get down to some of these that are actually links on the old site. For example, Roseland Park Elementary, this top one is a link. If we click on it, we can see that this link actually goes to a document. Now this document is actually called Samsung rp.pdf. Don't worry about what the file names are. We just want to match them up. Doesn't have to make sense. So on the new one, we're going to highlight that same text. We're going to make it bold like it was on the other one. We're going to link it. And again, we've got the same link options. This time we want to do file for download again. And that document was called Samsung. And there's the Samsung rp.pdf. Select it, and we're done. Let's move to the next one. The next one is Westside Elementary named Mississippi State finalist. That one links to Samsung WS. So we're going to link that here on this one as well. Highlight it, make it bold, link it to a file. The file is called Samsung WS. And you're done. You can see that there's no additional save options you need to do. As you're building this out, everything's auto-saved. So simply click away from whatever it is you're working on, and it's automatically saved instantly. Let's go do a few more of these, and I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. Don't want to put anybody to sleep, but we've got a little bit more to show you. So let's do the 2019 calendar. So this particular one, it looks like it might be called, let's see, this one, yeah, actually this one is called calendar 1819.pdf. We're going to do that one as well. I think the next one is my tricky one. And this one, again, we're going to link to a file. It's called calendar. What was it? 1819. There it is. 1819.pdf. This is close. You can see there's two different 1819s. One's got a whole bunch of other stuff after that. One is the one we're looking for, calendar 1819.pdf. Select that one, and let's keep on trucking. We're going down the list here. The proposed Part B and Part A. So I think this is my one that's going to throw you off a little bit. Nope, this one's just called 18-19 idea application. And bold, and link, and file. It's called 1819 idea application. So you can see, again, it's going to be pretty repetitious, but you're going to pick up speed very quickly as you go along as well. Next one's going to be their bullying policy. And so let's go back to the old site. So I wanted to get to here because this is a different kind of link that's going to throw some of you off. When you're looking at the file name, it says it's h-j.wpd. That's actually not the name of this file, although it kind of says it is. I promise you it's not. You're going to have to look in the URL a little bit, and some of these you're going to have to dig around and sleuth it out a little bit and try to figure out what the name of it is called. In this case, you're looking for a PDF document, so it's going to be something called something.pdf. In this case, we know it's a bullying link, so it's bullying.pdf. You can disregard all the stuff before and after that. You're just looking for the name of the file itself, something.pdf, in this case, bullying.pdf. So that's what we want to link that to. We'll go back to the new site, highlight bullying policy. We're going to link that to the file called bullying.pdf. And I'm going to make it bold like the others. So let's just get to a couple more down here. So we've got a few more to do. And this was happening to me earlier. I'm not quite sure that this may be a result of the web meeting. Because Jamie, this does not happen outside the web meeting. So very odd. All right, so let's keep on going. Let's finish this one out. I'm gonna close all these other things that are open. And the last one is, or actually there's 4 more. Let's do a couple more odd ones. So this one again says its name is section JWPD. Even says that on the top, but that's not the name of this document. Again, it's something PDF. And in this case, this one has a space in the name, and it's actually called suicideprevention.pdf. You'll see the numbers %20. Anytime you see that, that's the computer's name for a space in the name. A file name actually cannot have a space, and so the computer just fills that in with the code %20, which means space. And so in this case, you're not going to look for a file called suicide %20 prevention PDF. You're going to just look for something called suicide prevention and ignore this %20 because the computer just doesn't know what else to call a space. So we're going to jump back over to our new site, highlight suicide prevention. We know it's going to be bold. We're going to link it again to a file. This time that file is called suicide. There it is, suicide prevention. And link to it, and we're done. Let's go to the next one. And I'm only going to do a few more of these, and then we'll talk about some different types of documents. So again, this is a different one. This one again has lots of spaces in it. The PDF name is actually District Report 1617.pdf. Don't worry about all the %20s in there because those are just placeholders for what the actual name is. It's District Report 1617. So in this case, we know that that's going to link to and it's going to link to District Report. And there it is, District Report 1617. And done. And keep moving. We're going to do just two more, and I think you got the idea that it's kind of repetitive, but this is the bulk of the job. I'm going to do Head Start. That one's going to be early. Head Start. Actually, this one kind of threw me off, and it did earlier as well. So this one, the file name is actually EHS Annual Report.pdf. So nothing complicated there. We're going to link that, EHS. File, search for the file. It's called EHS. Oops. Annual Report 2013. And let's move to the very last one, which is a little bit different. And this is one that we're going to change later on. But this one's actually going to link to a page in the old site. So there are going to be some links. As I said, there's really 4 kinds of links. A link to a document, a link to another website, a link to an email, or a link to a page in your own site. Maybe it just links out to some hidden page somewhere on your website. So in this case, when I click on New Online Meal Payment, it actually stays in the Picayune website. It's actually jumping out to another page on the site. We're going to shortly have that set up as a pop-up, and I'm going to skip that one for now, but by the time you all get started, that will be another option that will then, of course, actually link to a pop-up instead of this kind of link. I'm going to just leave that one alone for now, just to show you that there are different kinds of pages and different kinds of links and content that you'll be dealing with. So that's the bulk of what we're going to be doing. Again, we could go through, we could add the other links module on the left, but let's move on down. So now we've got another row, and this is going to be the calendar. And at the very moment, that one actually is being worked on as well. But let's see if it works. We're going to go over to Widgets. We know we need to add a calendar. And we're going to simply drag the calendar out to the page and see what happens. It is not working. So that you're going to find on occasion that there are little things that maybe don't work right for you the first time. And this is the reason we have everybody create a Skype account, so that you can contact us. All of us use Skype. And so if you come across something that's either not working or confusing or whatever it is, don't hesitate to reach out to us immediately. And we're all here to help you out. There's 7 of us who can help you out, answer any kind of questions or, fix things along the way. So don't be alarmed if something's a little amiss and it's not quite how you planned it. In my case, I had tried to add a calendar that I know is being worked on at the moment. It didn't work. We'll just come back and add that later. So this is the very first page of just a few in this particular site. And the next thing we'll do is go down our list of pages. Everybody will receive, when you get your website to work on, you'll also receive a spreadsheet like this that shows you all of the pages in the website that you'll be working on. So these pages that say redirect, you won't need to touch those at all. They're already configured in your website, in your pages, and that's done on the left-hand side. If you click on pages, you'll see that there are some pages that already have a redirect, and these are all the ones with the external URL. And then there are other pages that are actually disabled pages. Again, we've created all the pages for you, so you don't need to mess with these. Schools, what's another disabled one is departments. You're not going to have to mess with these. You're going to do anything else that has a URL next to it. In this case, the district, you go to employment, you go to calendar, and all you'll need to do to get to that next page is simply click that link, or actually copy and paste that link, and start copying that content. This, of course, is a very short page, and this is kind of typical of a lot of the pages that you'll find. They're very, very short. You'll just burn through them. You'll find that most pages are very small, very easy to deal with. Some pages are large that have a lot of links and a lot of information. Most of those are the home pages. Most other pages are actually very light, maybe some photos, some basic links, and nothing real complex. But once you've copied this page to its corresponding new page, you'll go back to your spreadsheet and go down the list and select the next page. There will be a column, and it looks like this one's not turned on, but there will be a column that shows, Jamie, you want to show them what the columns look like? The other one looks like? There was the one you did this morning for Brantley.
I will be glad to. I'm going to take the screen away from you if that's okay.
Sounds good. Go right ahead.
So what I'm going to do, guys, as we give you a job assignment, you will get a sheet very similar to this, a spreadsheet that will be assigned directly to you. You will not see anything that is assigned to anyone else. It will only be your job assignments. For that, there'll be the date that it will be assigned, the title of the page, and I will also give you the title of the site that you're working on. Just know that when you log in, you will only see the site that you're logging into on the dashboard. All of the URLs that will be in your job assignment will be the URL of the old site. So you can click on this. You don't have to log into the old site. You just click right here. It's going to pop up that page, and you're going to copy it into that new URL. So as Rob was going through the training, you saw the old site that was there, but when you're logged into the new site, the one that allows you to do all the editing and things of that's Campus Contact. So once you have opened this page, you'll paste in your new URL, which is from the Campus Contact site. We do ask, as we assign it, it'll say that it's been assigned to you. If you are working on it, please put that page is in progress. If you have completed it, please show that page is complete. These spreadsheets that we're sending you are in Google Docs, and they will be shown to us in real time. The reason we ask that you show that you're in progress or completed the page, if something should happen and you're unable to complete the site, we want to be able to reassign that job if needed. And we can see exactly where you left off by letting us know what page is in progress and what pages have been completed. Once you have completed all of your pages, we do have a team that will go through the pages and verify that all the content is there. If we see any errors or any mistakes or any corrections that need to be made, we will send that page back to you and ask you to correct those any errors that we have found or any missing content. Once everything has been completed on the page and we have verified it, we will mark it here, and as you get paid, your pay date will be listed here to show that you have been paid for those pages. It's a great way for us to keep up with the page count, since you are getting paid per page, and for us to also keep up with that page count. We are going to be paying on the 1st and the 15th of every month. I will, as we go through, so at the 14th, I will be going through everything that you have Anything that is completed as of the 14th, pay out on the 15th of that month. And then let me show them one other thing. Just a moment here. So when I sent you the training information, this information would have been on the bottom of that training information. And now that you've gone through the training and you see the work detail, I know some of you guys have already sent me this information. If you've already sent me this information, I really ask that you send it to me again. Again, website migration as the subject. I need your first and last name, mailing address, email address, phone number, and your Skype ID. Some of you have private Skype IDs, and that's fine. When I reply to you that I've received this information, you've been entered in our system, I'm going to send you a link for a group, a Skype group that you'll be added to, and you can click and add yourself there. If you prefer to be paid by direct deposit, we do need additionally your social security number, bank account, and routing number so that we can deposit those funds. If you are looking for me on Skype, my Skype ID is Jamie Bramlett, all lowercase, all one word, and we can connect that way, and I can go ahead and add you to the group prior to getting this information. It's really up to you of how you get your Skype ID over to me. If you're just adding me on Skype by sending it to me at the Jamie Bramlett under my ID, please let me know that you attended the training and would like to be added to the Skype group so that you can stay up to date with the information. We will use Skype to communicate back and forth. If you have questions as you're doing migrations, you can simply just put a question in and we'll be glad to address that and get it back to you as soon as possible with that update. We do typically work Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're outside of that time zone or working after those hours, you may not get an immediate response. I do work pretty late every evening, so if I'm available, I will answer you. Just know that if you're sending in questions after 6 p.m. Eastern Time, that it may be the next morning before you get a response. But that doesn't mean you can't work during those times. Please work whenever the time is available for you and when it's comfortable for you.
Perfect. So as Jamie mentioned, the pay for this kind of work is going to be $4 per completed page. And so because it's done at the page level or per page completion rate, it's going to behoove you to work quickly. However, if you start moving too quickly and you make mistakes and lots of problems, page or corrections will also be on you. So as you complete a page, we'll go back and review that page, or as you complete an entire site, we'll probably review it in large chunks of pages. But any issues that we find, we'll point those back to you, and you will need to go back and correct those pages in order for that page to be considered completed and and payable. So so while we do want you to move quickly, we also want you to move quickly and accurately so that you don't have to circle back and come back and do things. So there is a lot of steps. There is a lot to absorb initially. However, you'll pick it up very quickly because it is very repetitious. So the first couple of pages you'll click on and you'll bumble around looking for the different icons and looking for places to add things and whatnot and copying back and forth. And it's a little bit daunting at first. Within the first 10 minutes, you'll have a pretty good idea of where everything is, and it should come to you pretty quickly. At that point, you'll be zipping and picking up speed very, very quickly. So it's extremely repetitive and nothing overly complex. If you do come across something in the site that looks unusual, for example, there's some things called iframes, and there's different modules maybe in the other sites, in the old sites, that maybe you haven't seen before because it's just an odd module that they use. In some cases, they'll have copied content from third-party widgets for things like weather or who knows, different kinds of things. So if you find something unique, ask us about it, and we'll knock it out as quickly as possible or help you with it as quickly as possible so that we're not holding you up. Again, if you're going to work after hours or weekends, we generally are not going to be available. So at that point, I would recommend that you simply make a note and move on. Keep banging out some more pages and get back to us later on. If you find anything odd, maybe misspellings or things broken or whatever it is as you're moving stuff over, if common sense says fix the spelling, go right ahead and do that on the new site. If something is broken, you get an error, whatever the case may be, something complex, again, let us know so that we can resolve the problem. If you don't tell us, we can't fix it. And we don't want you to continue repeating an issue if there's something broken or some kind of problem. So again, we're going to rely on your communication with us for things like that. Otherwise, for the most part, it's on you. You're going to just be able to sit back, turn up some music, and copy, paste for as many hours as you've got available. And the faster you go, again, the more you'll make per hour. So it's completely up to you. And of course, the number of hours you've got available, the more the merrier. We've got about 15 minutes left. If there's any questions anyone wants to ask, now is a good time to do it.
And again, I'll remind you to put your questions in that chat box, and I'll be glad to address them as they come in. One of the things that I wanted to mention is that all job assignments the first job assignment will go out this next coming Monday, the 29th. That just allows us enough time to get everybody in the system and ready to go. When you get your first job assignment, it will come via email. It will be the Google spreadsheet that you saw. In that Google spreadsheet that is assigned specifically to you, your login credentials and the URL where you will log in to the campus contact site will be in that spreadsheet. And also, we will share a link for this video. It has been recorded, so if anyone needs this video to review, there will be a link shared at the end of the meeting with anyone that wants to see this. Rob's also created a page. He's getting ready to show you now. And so actually all of the trainings that we've done, there's going to be a total of 4. Well, not the boat video. But all of the videos will be shared. So we have a total of 4 trainings. All of them will be shared on this page, the link that we sent you, and you'll be able to view any of them. I will have them dated for each session so that you'll know which one you attended and can review that if you need it. Rob, I don't have any questions coming in.
Okay.
I've answered the few that came in as you were demonstrating. So if no one has any questions, we can go ahead and wrap this up.
Wonderful. So at this point, anyone, if you intend to move forward with us, we certainly welcome you and your help. And so contact Jamie as she requested, and she will add you to the list, and we'll get you to work. If you decide that this is not for you, or maybe it's just not something you can or want to do for whatever reason, please let us know so we can take you off our list. Otherwise, your email is going to get bombarded as we move forward with various updates and links to videos and whatnot. So if you're not going to move forward with us, thank you very much for your time, and let us know so we'll take you off the list. If you are going to move forward with us, we welcome you. We've got a lot of work to do, and we're all going to be moving fast. So it's going to be a good time, and we're going to knock a lot of work out. Otherwise, thank you all very much for your time. Again, my name is Rob at School Desk.
Rob, I'm going to interrupt you before you close out. I just want to address a few things that just came in. I'm so sorry about that.
Perfect.
The header images, so as we give you a site to do, the header images will already be there. You're only completing the content on the page. You don't have to worry about, so your pages will be laid out for you. So you see your parent pages that are all at the top. Go back to the campus contact site for just a moment. There you go. So your header images will be here. The skin will be here. Your parent pages will be at the top where you see homeschool, the district, department. Those are your parent pages. Drop down pages, we call those child pages. All of these pages are already going to be laid out for you. You're simply finding that page and putting the content on that page. It's going to be very simple the way that we lay it out for you. And then the evaluation of the pages. So we're going to assign you an entire site. PKUN is a very small site that he's demonstrated today. We have a few other sites that some have more than 50 pages, some have less than 50 pages. We typically will assign an entire site for you, meaning that it's going to be an entire district or an entire high school or an entire elementary school. We will evaluate those as soon as the entire site is complete. We're not going to go through page by page by page. We can monitor these as you're building them out and take a look. If we're starting to see that there's a pattern, maybe things are not completed or things are not looking like they're laid out in the format they should be, we can reach out to you and contact you and let you know, hey, maybe we need to do another quick training, or maybe see if there's any questions that you have. But we will pay upon the completion of any pages. So on the 14th of each month, on the just before the last day of any month, some months have 30 days, some have 28, and some have 31. So just at the end of each pay period, the day before, we're going to make sure that all the sites have been reviewed so that we can pay you for any completed pages that you have. I'm looking at some questions. Just a moment, Rob.
Okay.
The question is from Katie, is there a max amount that they can do, or is it first come, first serve? It is first come, first serve. So as I was just explaining, we will assign an entire site to you. Once you've completed that site, we've reviewed the site and the work is good, we will give you a new assignment. So as often as you complete and your work is consistent, we'll keep assigning new sites to you. As far as questions that you, go ahead. Sorry, Rob,
I was just saying that there are plenty of sites to go around, so we are.
Oh yeah.
We've got enough work to keep everybody busy for several months.
If you have questions as you're working along the Skype group that we've mentioned a couple of times, that is going to be your best way to submit any questions. It will also help anyone else that is doing migration. If you're submitting a question, they may have the same question, and by submitting an answer, they can see the answer to that. So what will happen today at the end of this session, if you've seen what the work is, what the job entails, and you're still interested, the information that I requested from you at the on that training form that I sent you with training information, the one that I just showed with your name, email address, and stuff, if you will send that to me, I'm going to enter you in our system. I will reply to that email to confirm that I have entered you into the system. I will make sure that you have a link to this video and a link to the Skype group in that email. The Jamie@schooldesk.net. If you have not, I would say by Sunday evening, if you have not heard from me or I have not responded to your email, please reach out to me. You have my cell phone number that is in that the email that I sent you for training, 678-410-0908. Please give me until Sunday evening to respond. As you can imagine, we've had an overwhelming response to this ad to do this work, and we're excited about it. It means that we'll get this stuff knocked out quicker than we expected, but also understand that that's several people to put into our system very, very quickly. So please give me until Sunday afternoon to respond to that email. I've got a few more questions. Just a moment, Rob. This is not a W-2 or a 1099. You guys are a vendor for us. In the email, when I respond to you, I'm letting you know that you've been entered into the system. There are going to be 2 forms of information that will have you fill out, a W-4 and a contractor agreement. And that's just so that we can set you up as a vendor in our system and pay you accordingly. Do I have any other questions before we close out? Okay, I think we're good, Rob. Guys, I appreciate all of you joining the training session. It's not necessary to join another training session unless you absolutely want to. Again, you will receive a link to the recording of today's session. That link will also show you recordings of other sessions that we'll do. If you have any questions, the Skype group will be the best way to submit the questions. If I haven't responded to your email with your contact information that was requested by Sunday afternoon, please send me another email or give me a call directly on my cell phone at the 678-410-0908. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much. We look forward to working with all of you. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.